Hey guys, welcome back to Linda's Resin Room. So what we're going to do today is make this little tree for Christmas, and it says, "We wish you a Merry Christmas." Now I'm going to put a few stones in it, but I'm also going to use some of the pearl inks from Ranger. I have Alchemy for the star. I'm going to use Elixir, Deception, Divine, and Villainous. And then for the bottom, I'm going to put in these crushed shells here. And we are going to use some mineral. Now, I'm using my Bond Crafter resin today because I love this resin. I want a resin that's going to move and make my alcohol inks move, and I hope this will work. So let me move that out of the way. I do have a 20% discount code for Bond Crafter if you use any of their products. So I'll flash that up on the screen as well as put it in the description box. Now these inks are a pearl ink, so they're a metal ink. They're like metallic. So you do need to shake them up. They do come with that little bead already in there. So I'm just going to put a few drops of yellow here. And then I'm going to show you, I'm going to put different stones in different areas. Okay, and then we're going to do our green, which is called Elixir. Now, I've already made this once, and I wasn't happy with it. The color didn't move. I used a different resin. It looked horrible, in my opinion. Okay, Deception. So we're remaking it. It looked pretty with the light behind it. I will say that. The problem was, when I recorded the video, it didn't record sound. And to go over that and do a voiceover for 20 minutes, I didn't want to do. So I just deleted the video. We're going to redo it. And I'm doing it a little different. Divine. I think I need another color. We'll get us another color here. Oops. I don't want to shake that with the lid on. They get down in the lid, and then you open the lid, and they go everywhere. Okay, what other color do we want to do? That's too light. Not this one. It's a pink. I hope this does spread and doesn't just leave me a bunch of globby white areas or clear areas, as you know. And I got to do this before this color dries. This is Intrigue. Oh, I dropped a blue there. I hope it doesn't look ugly with that pink. And then mineral. Now I mixed up 8 ounces of resin, and I think this mold holds about 10, if I'm not mistaken, from the last time I made it. Alright. Now let's see if we can get some resin poured in here and get those colors to kind of do their thing. Just pouring it everywhere that I have color. And if I need to drop more, I will. No problem. Get some in the bottom. I just don't want the color to stay stagnant and not really move. That's in my way. I need it to go up in that corner there. And pour in a little bit more color, or resin I mean. I do want that to spread out. Okay. Try to keep this from dripping. There we go. So I've poured in 4. I've poured in half of it. All right. Now I'm going to take my shells and put in the bottom here. I got these shells from the Dollar Tree. I think this is 6 bags. And I just put them in the box. I hope I didn't put too much resin in there that I can't get all my shells where I want them. Okay, let's see. Just a little silicone tool. I don't want the shells to have bubbles. I want to be able to see them, but I don't want them to stick up either. So I'm just going to kind of move them around. I don't want them way up there. I want them to come back down this way. I'm just going to press them down, and then we'll cover everything over once I get all of my shells where I want them. So we're going to use some different ones in different areas. Okay, I think that side is good. Now let's see if we can get all of these here. I'm hoping by putting the resin in there first that I don't end up with bubbles under these. It's the first time I did this, I ended up with some bubbles under some of the shells, even though I moved them around. So, trying to prevent that from happening. But now these shells with this color was gorgeous. It was my favorite part of this whole piece. I'll pick all the extra ones that's just laying around up after it cures and I can get everything. I think I'm going to put a few more right in here. Get that to flip over. And it's just crushed shells. You can use whatever colors you like or however you want to do it. That one needs to lay down. And that's kind of sticking up there. Okay, I think we've got that good. Now, for the star, I have these little iridescent crushed glass. Don't know where I got this. I have no clue. I think they're pretty. And I think they'll look really pretty in this star. Now, the containers I got from the Dollar General, they had them at the end of summer on clearance, and you got them, I don't know, 50 cents a piece maybe. It's very cheap. Very, very cheap. Just going to mix that in with that yellow. I think it'll make a really pretty star. I think I need some over in that corner. And these are going to sink, so I'm not putting in a whole lot. They are heavy. Like I said, it's just crushed glass. Here we go. Now, these pink shells, these came from Laura's Art Corner. And I'm going to see if I can get out a few of these and put them in a couple of areas here. Just really, these are kind of big. I just think if I put a few different colors here and there, they might look really pretty. Some of them's quite large. There's my little stick. And I'm just going to put some of those there. Now I also have some of these. This is called Cool Tropical or Cool Trop. I don't know. Also from Laura's Art Corner, and they're quite large as well. But there's some blue ones and some purple ones in here, and green, I think. So if we can get some blue ones down in there. Now you can color your own shells as well. You just take some alcohol ink and drop it in there, stir them around a little bit, and then let them dry. And that will make your own color of crushed shells. I've made them once. I don't think I let mine dry long enough because they kind of bled a little bit. The color did. There's a green one. Can't tell if that's green or blue. I do need some blue ones over here in that star. Here's a green. These are all purple. But I think that's a green one. We're going to go with green. Get me out a few more here. Okay. I really think this will be pretty. This way. Purple. A lot of purple ones. I've already got resin on them, so I've got to use them. I can't put them back. So I had resin on my gloves. And come on. I see a couple bubbles down in there. I should have sprayed first, because now I'm going to have to get these bubbles out. Let's see. That one goes in here. That one goes there. All right. Let's see if I can pluck out some bubbles. I definitely don't want bubbles down in this piece if I don't have to. And there's quite a few of them down in there. Well. I wasn't thinking. I forgot to spritz it. At least this color is moving. Bonecrafter's letting the color move. So I know that last resin I used, it didn't move at all. Those little stones scattered around. I think I've got way too many there. I don't have any over here. There we go. Let's move you. Get you down in there. And just pop what I can. What I can see anyways. See a couple bubbles there. Try to get them all out. Come on, bubbles. Y'all know y'all don't want to stay in there. Spread them along. There we go. All right. I'm sure I'm still going to have bubbles, but I think I've got out most of them. Okay. Now, I'm going to spritz this. And let's see if we can finish filling it up. I don't want to dome it too much because this bottom has to slide into each other. And if I dome it too much, it won't fit. I'll have to sand it down. Now let's get some up here. See if we can let all this kind of flow around. And then I'm just going to scrape it around, try to get it all off where I've just poured it over top of it. Okay. Now, just kind of scrape it along. Now, you don't have to do that. You can leave it alone, and then they'll bubble up on their own. And then you can just pluck them off once it cures. And I'll take tape over this once it cures up and get all those little resin bits that didn't drain down in there. I'll pull them off that way. Easiest way to do it. Okay, so maybe 8 ounces is enough. I was thinking I needed 10. I did put stones, but I still got extra. Okay. Good deal. Kind of like to have some color down here. What do we got? One of these have to be an orangey looking color. How about this one? Splendor. Shake this up. Doesn't quite look red though, does it? Okay, I'll stir that around here in just a second. And I think this is the red I like, Intense. Shake, shake, shake. Got a bit of a clear spot here. So why not add a little of this? Yeah, that's the red color I like. All right, now, where's my silicone stir stick? I just want to get that down in the resin. Let it kind of do its thing and move around. I just don't want it floating on the top. Here we go. Now, same thing with the red up here. Just going to kind of get it down in there. And I'm going to spritz it again with alcohol. I don't know. I think I'm pretty full. If I spritz that, we're going to overflow because I'm already overflowing on my star. So let's see. I'm just going to get a little bit of that out. This way. The bottom, I think, is pretty good. It's not really overflowing too much. But my table is just off by like a couple millimeters, and it messes it up. All right. I think that'll be okay. We'll leave that alone. Let that cure up. Now I've got color down in there. I don't have much, so let's find us something to put that in. Hopefully this looks prettier than the last one. What do I want? I feel like I do the same things every single time. Let me find us some mold. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we're going to do this little turtle. I'm going to drop some inks in him. Since we've already got that red, we're going to go with Intense. Okay. And then we'll do Deception. This way, these two, I think, will look really pretty together. And I've already got red in this clear, so that's what we're doing. Alrighty. And we still may have some left. I don't know if this will be enough for this, or if we'll have some left over. I think I'm going to have too much still. Okay, I've got a little bit, but not much. So, oh gosh, my back. Well, where'd they all go? I know I got some down in here somewhere. Not that one. All right, we'll do this little turtle that I made. But I want to do Tranquil. We're going to do blue. Shake this up. I'm going to have some trimming to do on that sucker. I do dread that. Okay. Here we go. Let's see what this is going to look like. Scrape my cup here and get everything out. This resin's getting thick. Still got that little bit of a red tint to it, but I think it'll be okay with the alcohol ink. Wow, I didn't realize I had that much in there. I think we're going to fill him up. All right. I love Bond Crafter resin. It has a pleasant odor, unlike some. It cures very well. Doesn't take forever and a day. Mixes up easy. And works very well. Let my colors spread. Just all around a good resin. Come on, drip, drip, drip. I've almost got him full. If I can get enough out of here, I think that we can fill him completely up. He doesn't need much more. There we go. And he is full. Yay. All right, I'll get this cleaned up. Spread some alcohol down in there. Alrighty, guys, we'll let all this cure up. We'll come back for a demold. So, I'll see you guys then. Alright, guys, so everything has cured up. I've got my turtle shell making out of my Bond Crafter UV resin. I love this resin. I do have a 20% discount code off of Bond Crafter of any of their products that I'll put up for you guys. It's always in the description. And all I do is I just layer it. And I do like 5 layers. And then I'm done. And I give each layer 2 minutes. But you don't have to give it 2 minutes. But I thought we would make this little turtle shaker into a Christmas turtle shaker, since we kind of made him a little red anyways. Isn't he cute? So we're going to do that with him, and that's why I made his shell. And this is our little spare turtle that we just kind of dumped whatever. He's kind of different. Okay. Now, let's get this thing out. I'm going to get the bottom first. Is that a shell? Must have been a loose one I missed cleaning up. Oh, perfectly flat. That is awesome. I might have to pick that little piece off right there. It's like a little bubble overage. Okay. Isn't that pretty, though? I love those shells in that with that brown, or mineral, I think is what it's called. Now, let's get this thing out. This is going to take a little longer to completely cure because it's a thinner piece, and this resin takes a long, long time to completely cure. Hopefully we don't have bubbles. Sorry about the heater kicking on, guys, but it's a bit chilly in here this morning. I didn't have the heat turned up high enough, so I'm trying to get it warm. Okay. This thing's not too hard to demold. Much prettier than the last one. The last one, the color just didn't move. I like those shells in that. Okay. Let me move this out of the way. And I just took tape and cleaned up all the pieces off the mold first. Do got a little overage I'm going to have to trim up on the star. And that's with our little iridescent pieces in there. And our little green stones and red stones, blue stones, purple stones. I do like that. So you can see how flimsy it is. It's going to have to completely cure before I can set it up. And then I'll just snap a picture at the end. But all that you do is this will slide right down in here. And this one is a little difficult to maneuver. And then he'll stand straight up. Very, very pretty. I like that. All right, let's finish this little sucker. So I've got some red and some green, and I got some little gold beads, and then we'll use a few of my butterflies I've made. Now these little beads come from Laura's Art Corner. They're in all different sizes down in here. There's big ones, little ones, and I always bounce them around everywhere. Put some of those, put a little scoop of that, and a little scoop of this red. This is a good sized little shaker turtle. This is from Into Resin, and I do have a 20% discount code for them as well, which is in the description box. Okay, I think those colors look really pretty together. Now let's find a few. There's a gold one. Probably won't be able to see them very well. There's a red one. There's a green one. Another gold one. And there's another green one. I think that'll be enough. Well, there's a red one. Let's might as well keep it even, and if I can flip-flop him back the right way. There we go. Okay. Now, move them out of the way so I don't drop them. I'll put all that up here in a minute. Now the shell. You just got to pop this out. Now I'm going to put this under my light for just a second. It probably doesn't need it, but just in case. But like I said, I do have a 20% discount code for all InterResin molds. Now, we're going to use my B7000 glue. Let's push that down to the bottom. And we're barely going to go, I always get this glue, gets right around the tip of that. And I'll just barely put a little bit in here to hold that shell in place. It doesn't take much, and you don't want it to overflow down into where your little beads and things are, or they'll get stuck and they won't move. Just a little tiny bit. See if I can get this lid back on here. There we go. All right. And it's completely cured, so we'll just drop that right down in there. Fits perfect. And that's it. We'll let that harden up. I've got to do a little trimming on him. We'll let this completely cure, and then I will post some photos at the end for you guys, and I'll see you all back for the next video. So bye for now.